Hey y'all. Welcome back. I'm back with another video, another She Believes moment. And today I want to talk about, let me make sure I got my notes up. I want to talk about something that I know a lot of people struggle with. Not me personally, but I know a lot of people struggle with running their own race at their own pace and trusting your own timing. Because with the internet, it's easy to look left and look right and want to look behind you, and you don't really be tunnel vision focused on yourself. And I want to talk about that because so many people be thinking like they behind because you see the next person doing this or getting this, and then you start thinking that you should be doing more than you should based off what you see. And that's not true. We all got our different journeys for a reason. We different people for a reason. You got different gifts for a reason. So you can't always get caught up on what you see on the internet. Also, everything that you see on the internet is not even what it appears to be. You don't even know what people had to do to get what they got or to get where they going. So you always need to be focused on your race and what you got going on. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. So we're going to get into what it really means to run your race. So for one, you got to understand that everybody is on a different assignment. My assignment is not the same as yours. Her assignment is not the same as yours. His assignment is not the same as yours. You got to understand that you got your own talents for a reason. You're going to be on your own journey. It's not going to look like mine. It's not going to look like your cousins. It's not going to look like your best friends. So understand, that's the first thing to running your race. Understand that your assignment is different. Okay? Just because you see somebody else flourishing in their lane does not mean that you're not flourishing in yours. Please understand that. You can still celebrate somebody and still be confident in what you're doing. Because a lot of the times, people will celebrate you until you get to a certain level. When you get to a certain level, them same people that was celebrating you before, 90% of them end up falling off because they start looking at your journey and start looking at what you're doing and how you're flourishing in yours, and then they'll start to compare themselves to you. If you a person like that who kind of get easily triggered by what you see other people doing, you got to stop that, because that's gonna be my next step. Let me just slow down a little bit. So we back on, we're not on the same assignment. Just because your process looks different doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. Please understand that. Please understand that you are your own person. We are different for a reason. If God wanted us to do the same thing that other people are doing, people will be doing what you're doing, but they're not going to be able to do it like you. So if God wanted us to do it the same way, then everybody would be doing the same thing the exact same way. It wouldn't be no type of uniqueness, no type of differences, nothing. Please, what's the word I want to say? Please accept your differences. Like, it's okay to be different, and it's okay to be unique, and it's okay to not be doing something that somebody else is not doing. And even if you are doing the same thing, it's okay to have your own twist on it. Stop trying to be like everybody else. What works for somebody else may not work for you. And I need y'all to understand that too. Just because you see it working for somebody else does not mean it's going to work for you. Understand, you can be inspired, but don't be a duplicate. Meaning, don't try to copy exactly what you see somebody else doing because you see it working for them. You might not get the same results. And 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get the same results because they are the blueprint to what they got going on. Do you want to be a blueprint or do you want to be a copy? You got to start asking yourself them questions when it comes to running your own race. Number 3, the root of comparison. Comparison is a thief of joy. But it's not only stealing your joy, it's stealing your identity, it's stealing your focus, and it's stealing your ability to be able to hear God clearly. Because if you so focused on what somebody else doing and then trying to compare yourself to them, how are you going to be able to focus on what God has called you to do? You're not going to be able to do that. A lot of the times, you'll start doubting yourself and your capabilities because you so busy looking at what the next person got going on. Anything that I've ever started and that I work on, I focus directly on my assignment. I don't focus on what nobody else got going on. I can show love and be encouraging and all this other stuff because what the next person got going on is not going to dim my light. I'm a light by myself. But a lot of people just be too caught up on comparing themselves. I can't tell you how many times I've been around women who like me and like what I got going on until they see that it's too much for them. Whole time, I'm just being myself. A lot of women, I don't know what it is about females, a lot of women are just jealous and very insecure. So comparison starts very subtle. It'll start subtle, and then the next thing you know, you get to see people's colors. The whole time they got a problem with you just being yourself and just outgrowing them, I guess. I don't know. But I'm here to tell you, don't get caught up in the comparison trap, man. It's not a good look. We should be collaborating instead of competing. But a lot of people, I don't know. I don't know what that is. Besides the enemy using people, I don't know. I feel like it's just, it's insecurity. Insecurity turns into envy. Envy and jealousy are two totally different things. But that's where comparison comes from. You feel less than within yourself when you look at somebody else. Whole time, you shouldn't even be looking at them like that. You should see what they got going on and be inspired. Not feel like you're not doing enough. And I don't understand. Let me see. And I don't understand where like comparison comes from. I don't. Like thinking God gonna take you to the level that he want to take you and you hating on the next person. The math just don't be mathing. I wrote down something that you can take with you. Stop scrolling for affirmation and start asking God for confirmation. You start talking to God, you'll start feeling better about yourself. You'll start finding the areas within yourself that you feel like you lacking in. That's where comparison comes from. Something inside of you is lacking. That's why you look at somebody else and they trigger you. Heal it. Go talk to God. Go talk to a counselor, a therapist. Heal it. Comparison, I don't like I said, comparison is just not a good look. And y'all got to stop that secret animosity and that secret competition. Whole time, people like me are not studying you. I'm not worried about what you got going on. It's just like when you drive in a car. If you so busy trying to look left and trying to look right and not focusing on your lane, you gonna crash. It's the same thing about running your own race. Looking left and right, you're going to crash. Focus on your assignment and what you got going on. Stop focusing on everybody else. Stop looking at the next female as competition. Whole time, if you were confident within yourself, you'll be trying to collaborate with her. Genuinely, not trying to collaborate to see what she got going on, how she doing it. Because that's another thing. But that's a topic for another time. We're going to move on to number 3. Societal pressure versus God's timing. Society, meaning your family, the internet, all of that stuff is going to pressure you and make you feel like you're not doing what you're supposed to do and make you feel like you got to have this and you got to have that. Please understand, God's timing and culture two totally different clocks. God is going to take you through a process, and you will get the things that he wants you to have in your own timing. But far as thinking that you got to have this by this age is what keeps a lot of people in bondage. God took me off a timeline 5 years ago. In 2020, he told me it wasn't going to be, oh, you think you're going to have this and that by this age. You're going to have that when I give it to you. Because you're going to be the person to be able to handle what I'm giving you. Like I said, when God give it to you, you're not going to struggle to keep it. Rather that's a new car, a new opportunity, a new place to stay, a relationship, a marriage. You're not going to have to struggle to keep it when God himself gives it to you. Because culture, like I said, will have you thinking that you need to have this by a certain age. A lot of people ask me, because I'm 30. Look around, it's a lot of people that's 30 and got kids. I don't got kids. A lot of people ask me when I'm having kids, and I always tell them when God gives them to me. I don't feel like I'm behind because everybody else got kids. I don't, because I'm on my own clock. And I know God gonna give me the kids when it's time for me to have them. So I said all that to say is focus on your own time and stop thinking that you gotta have this and that because of what you see on the internet, and because maybe what your parents or the family that you come from may be speaking and planting into you. Run your own race. Pressure and purpose is not the same thing. When you feel pressured, you're going to trick yourself up out of your spot. When you in purpose, it naturally aligns. Meaning it's going to all flow to you at the right timing. Timing is everything. But when you feel pressured, like I said, you can get tricked up out your spot, and you're going to be going through a whole lot of stuff that you wouldn't have had to go through if you would have just waited your turn. This is another note for you. What's for you will not pass you by when you're in obedience. And I'm going to say that again, because a lot of people be like, oh, what's for me is for me. What's for you will not pass you by when you're in obedience. Yes, you can miss out on what's for you for simply not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You can delay and you can slow your own self down. God got you on a timeline, but if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're going to be behind. So please understand, obedience plays a part in you running your own race. If you want to run your own race with you in control, by all means do that. I can guarantee you, you're going to be struggling in a lot of areas spiritually. Everything starts spiritual, then it shows up physical. Argue with whoever you want to argue with. I can tell you this. People who are the author of their own lives and they don't run it by God first, meaning God is not the head and the center of everything they do, they are lacking. If you lacking in one area, it starts to, it starts to roll over into other areas of your life. So please get in alignment so you can run your own race at your own speed. Stop trying to do things on your own will. That's why you getting tricked up out your spot. That's why you feeling pressured. That's why you comparing yourself. You're not in alignment. You don't follow God like you say you do. Number 4, grace for your pace. God will give you the grace for your pace. Meaning, the thing that you are called to do, somebody else trying to do it like you, it would naturally destroy them. Simply because they weren't graced for that. That's why people are graced for their assignment. I'm graced for the assignment I'm in. And I run it at the speed that I'm supposed to run it at. You don't have to do the most to prove that you're doing enough. Like, I really hate to hear that booked and busy type stuff. Like, I feel like that was cool back then. Where we at now, you want to be rested and still be able to do the things that you was called to do and have the things that you was called to have without overexerting yourself. Hustle culture is dead. By all means, like, if you live in hustle culture, that's on you. But like I said, you're not going to be running your race at the speed that you're supposed to. You're not going to be owning your own timing, and you're not going to be trusting your own journey simply because you got tricked up out your spot. And you doing the most to try to stay in the spot. When in reality, like I said, you wouldn't have to do all that if you were simply in alignment. When you grace for your pace, you in rhythm. You got peace. You got clarity. It's not chaotic. You're not stressed. You're not depressed. And you're not suffering from anxiety. Okay? Those are some of the most common signs of when you're not running your own race. You stressed out. You depressed. You got the most going on in your life. You can't find no peace. So, let's see. My last point is to stay focused on what God gave you. You was not meant to blend in. You was not meant to blend in. You got your own oil for a reason. Rather you figure out your oil and what God has really truly called you to do, that is on you. I came in right on time. You did. Stop trying to waste your anointing trying to be somebody else's blueprint. Stop trying to be somebody else's blueprint. Be the blueprint of your own life. Focus on what God has called you to do. Focus on what talents and gifts that you have and make it work. Ask God for the confirmation. Most of the time, God will give you your vision in isolation. Everything that God gave me, I got it when He isolated me. Comparison will start to make you doubt what God gave you. Comparison, again, I'm going to say it again. Comparison will start to make you doubt what God gave you. Stop looking left. Stop looking right. Focus on you. And y'all like to say that little baby lyric, I don't see nobody but me who I'm going to lose to. I don't know why some people be quoting that and you still be feeling another way about what other people got going on. You not focusing on what you got going on. That don't make sense. Stop looking around and start looking up. Understand that it's beauty in the becoming. Like, you supposed to love the journey, love the process. I could tell you firsthand, the process in the beginning, yeah, it's ugly. It's not that, but over time, you will start to love the process. You start to love your journey. Like, when I say I literally don't see nobody but me, so really, who I'm going to lose to, I can say that lyric and literally live that, because that's how I live my life. God in the front, and I'm like right behind them. I don't care about what nobody got going on. I don't have to unscrew nobody else's light bulb to shine. I shine by myself. I run my race at my own pace. I got my own lane for a reason. And my lane pink. I don't worry about what other color lanes everybody else got going on. Yes, I want a new car. I'm going to get the car when God tell me to get it. I still drive my same car that I got by myself at the age of 19. I am not in no rush to go have the latest Benz. If God ain't tell me that it's time for me to get me a new car, I'm not going to go and get it just because of what I see on the internet. Y'all got to stop thinking that you got to get what you see somebody else getting. Wait your turn. Please wait your turn. What God got for you, he gonna give to you as long as you following him and doing what you supposed to be doing. You ain't got to, like I said, you don't have to go and get what you see the next person getting. And honestly, I feel like when y'all be doing that, you didn't even want it anyway. You just wanted it because you seen somebody else with it. So, let me say this. Try to make sure I hit everything on my notes. The crowd, listen, when you're running your own race, the crowd might not cheer for you. The algorithm may not favor you, but God is watching you. God gonna bless you for your acts of obedience. Period. Run your race and stay in your lane. Period. Tell them, sis. Child, I waited until I was 25, which I'm now, to purchase my first car. Yeah, it ain't nothing wrong with that. But society will have you thinking you behind because you got your first car at 25. Don't let the internet get to you. That's why I was talking about societal pressures. Because on the internet, you can get on TikTok right now. People be talking about this and be talking about that. If you do not have no relationship with God and you're not consecrated enough, you gonna start to have energy leaks. And then that's where that whole comparison and then feeling like you behind comes from. Never in the mix at all. I feel you. Being in the mix is how you lose your flavor. Unless you networking with like-minded people that who are aligned to you, then that's cool. But I think I done said everything. Consecrated is the key. You can't run your race at your own pace if you're not consecrated. Hustle culture gonna tear you up. Like I said, you're gonna be running 100 miles per hour when you're supposed to be running at 50. Simply because you're not consecrated. So I think I hit everything on my notes. I'm trying to see if I yeah, I think I talked about everything. Just be running an imaginary race. If you're not consecrated, you on your own time doing your own thing. Literally. Like literally. Me and Samantha talk about that all the time. Like me and her gonna have to go live one day so y'all can hear what we talk about on the phone. I promise you, you gonna get some seeds planted in you. Let me tell y'all one thing. Ain't nothing nobody got, I want. Nothing. And what Susie and Johnny got going on don't got nothing to do with Kayla Simone. Kayla Simone gonna get hers. And I'm like I said, I'm gonna get it when God give it to me. Because when God give it to me, I'm not gonna lose it. Because I'm already consecrated. I already know what it's like to be outside of his will and trying to run at a race that I ain't got no business running at. So if I can tell y'all anything, stay the course. Make sure you following God and not following your own self and not following what you done heard from other people and what you see on the internet. Stay the course. Teach the people, okay? I'm trying, B. Just doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Because you know people don't be running their race. And then they start hating other people because other people are in an alignment and they not. And I'll go back to comparison. Somebody who is very confident in themselves, notice I put emphasis on in themselves, could never compete with you. I don't compete with people. I was put here to create. I don't compete with people. I don't care what you heard and who you heard it from. And definitely double check who you heard it from. I don't compete with nobody. I ain't never been jealous. I ain't never been envious because I'm that girl. Like, I'm that girl. What is for me is for me. And I make sure I do it. exactly how God want me to do it. I hear you, cousin. Preach. Got to. People gotta hear it. Some people needed that word tonight. What y'all want me to talk about next week? If y'all ain't got no questions, then I'm about to get off of here. I did what I was supposed to do. But I'm going to be talking about all kind of stuff. Because God gave me the gift of wisdom. It's a lot of stuff. Like a lot of stuff that I naturally have the tools to teach other people. Because I live a life on where I can teach it. I can't get up here and tell you something that I don't live. Whatever you talk about, I'm here for it. Okay, cousin. I'm going to be talking about all kinds of stuff. Lust. Talking about being equally yoked. Talking about finding your purpose. Talking about being in alignment. Having the right friends. Being in the right environment. All type of stuff. Generational curses. Being in bondage. I got some stuff to talk about. But I'm about to get off here if y'all ain't got nothing else to say or any questions y'all want to ask me. Hopefully you make these talks weekly. I have been. The only week that I didn't go live was last week. But I have been. Oh, I'm going to be talking about narcissists too. I'm going to be talking about demons. Because a lot of people just don't believe that that stuff is real. You be talking to the person whole time. It's a demon controlling the person. I'm going to talk about it. Good night, fam. Love you. Love you too, cuz. So I'm about to get off of here. Y'all can watch the live. It'll be posted.